of the judgment of the queen that was. You're the author.
Hey, so close.
Step right up. I can tell you need more fire in your life. Or maybe more essence. Please buy something. I'm trying to prove a point. Good. You made it back.
No one's come to claim him. I suppose I should.
Envoy. I speak for Paradise. That is all you need to know.
Careful. He could be a messenger. Or this could get interesting.
Adherents are all around us. It behooves us to be discreet. My compatriots have observed your judgment. We have a message for you. We do not give second warnings. Consider this one carefully.
Poor guy. Didn't even stand a chance.
Looks like there's a note.
Whatever's grown over that Adra doesn't look natural.
Hold a moment. They tell me you're going to Emerald Stair. Business or pleasure? Well, just remember to cover your mouth, sneeze into your elbow, and sleep with lavender under your pillow. Fair warning, Envoy. Before you showed up, Inquisitor Ludwine barged past me. She was looking none too pleased. Good advice. Since she arrived, there's been a spike in disappearances. And I don't want to be one of them. Anyway, I thought you should know Ludwine's on the prowl. Tread lightly.
So Ludwine's somewhere out there doing who knows what. Wonderful.
Hopefully, your handling of Egwolf brought us some grace with her.
Oh, one other thing. A desperate young man at your embassy asked me to deliver this to you. Apparently his expedition team has run into some trouble in the caves north of the city. I reckon he was a little starstruck by the whole idea, and no one else could spare the time. Oh, and I wouldn't wait too long. Those caves have been unstable the last few days. Roots and earthquakes and the like. Take care out there, Envoy. You're cleared to pass, Envoy.
Can't say I'm sad to be leaving Paradise. I had no idea how tense things were with the Adherents moving in.
And Egwolf's death won't help matters.
You had to know that might happen. I mean, you've met Ludwine, right?
Regardless, the Steel Garrote will see this as an excuse to crack down. I get the feeling they've been looking for one.
Steel Garrote? I figured they're just more intense Adherent soldiers.
Oh, I hear you. Unfortunately, if you're marching shoulder to shoulder, some of their stink is bound to rub off on you.
I don't like that Ludwine woman. She gives me the vreekas.
Yeah, I've seen floggings gentler than the scolding she gave Hilgard. One's tacking when the other's jibing, if you catch my drift. Taking in the slack is one thing. They look ready to strangle each other with it.
And it's a good thing we're getting out of the city.
Yeah. Much as Liviana misses our company, I wouldn't count on your mysterious friend reviving you a second time.
Are you listening to that friend when you go all blank-eyed from time to time? Does your special friend talk to you? I mean, I had an imaginary friend when I was little, but they never brought me back from the dead.
He means that with all due professional respect, of course.
How do you know this friend doesn't mean us any harm? Unless they have their own use for you. That's what's giving me the shakes.
We're headed to Fior Messi Verno to see if the Animancers know anything about the Dream Scourge, right? Maybe we'll learn something about your condition in the process.
Right. When it comes time to deal with Animancers, you two are on your own.
Most fun things are.
They could stand around and have scholarly debates about souls all they want. Gives me a great opportunity to take a nap.
I haven't been back in a while, but Fior is an interesting place. It was founded about 50 years ago by a disgraced Valian duke and a handful of Animancers who'd soured on politics in the republics.
Town full of nobles, scholars, and leeches, all surviving off the work of the farmers who grow food for the whole island.
They're an eccentric bunch. You'll see. It turns out that academics are as ungovernable as the rest of us rabble.
You don't understand what they're messing with. They can't tame the wilds with machinery.
They've held it at bay until recently. Their ingenuity, or madness, or heresy, take your pick, has fed a lot of people in the living lands. But, rumor has it, some unnatural blight is destroying their crops. Hopefully there's nothing to that. But if there is, we'll find out soon enough. And while we're in Emerald Stair, there's something I've been putting off. An old friend from my time in Thirdborn had a cabin out in the woods. Tama. He passed a while ago, but he left something for me that I never got around to picking up. But since we'll be in Emerald Stair anyway... You won't regret it. Emerald Stair's lovely this time of year. Even the Delimgon bloom.
No matter what I tell you, you keep picking flowers from things that want to kill you.
Hey, they love me. You just gotta ask nicely. Compliment their foliage.
Right. Maybe buy them a drink before they choke you to death with vines. I look forward to hearing what you think the word easy means.
You and I have quite the adventure ahead of us, Envoy. That's the spirit. What about you, Marius? What's next?
I have, things to do back in Paradise. It keeps me plenty busy.
Come to think of it, I haven't been to Emerald Stair in a while, and the Envoy's never been. Know any good guides we could hire?
None that could help the two of you. You need the best guide in the lands to keep you from getting yourselves killed.
Hey, you don't have to butter me up.
Now that you mention it, you're gonna need my help if you're traveling through the lands with this Nimdut. I have 2 rules. No campfire songs and no hugs. That last one's non-negotiable.
I hear wiggle room on the singing.
If we're done being ridiculous, we should get some rest. We'll be in Emerald Stair tomorrow.
Good to have you with us, Marius.
Right. Go to bed before you violate the hugging rule. What are you grinning about?
Huh? I wasn't grinning.
Right. Well, stop it.
Fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? To climb, of course.
You're welcome to my shoulders.
There's a godless artifact just out of reach, and I must have it. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned. Do they really? I wonder what other advantages godlikes come with. Maybe the three of you have experimented?
I'll try anything twice.
It's more of an Animancy thing, isn't it?
In any event, I already have a lover. He always carries a ladder. But sadly, he's busy helping the Animancers in Fjord, and I need this vase now. Typical. An Adiran never works for free. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 vases that don't require going into some ancient ruins, but no one listens to me.
Show me what you got!
I think I sprained my shoulder. I've never seen Emerald Stair like this. It's usually so nice.
You told
As if
us
people
that
weren't
Animancy
hungry
would
enough.
save our crops, and now look. Spoiled on the vine. Zarip's won't even touch them.
Animancy is a process. I want to talk about that delicate What do you mean that's all you've got? Last week you said they're great.
What I said.
You showed up at a bad time.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfir of the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of Animancy. Good. Perhaps he will listen to you. I am not fashioned for statecraft. Still, I think the governor is too stubborn to be persuaded even by the Emperor's finest. When diplomacy fails, the Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adiran interests. Barter for peace, prepare for war. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Genuine healing crystals, purest in all of Eola.
Jata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops! Look at your city! The Dream Scourge is laying wait. How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
I like her already.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust Animancy as his father did.
Thank you. It's good to see some sense around here for once.
The time for caution has passed. The failure of our crops will demand swift action.
Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with Animancy. You don't appreciate just how dangerous that could be. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. Really? Unexpected from an Adiran. But how could I refuse an offer like that? Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroom.
As I had planned. I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giatta, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. I can think of one. He's an entitled little worm who can't stand to be proven wrong.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. So am I. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want. On my terms. The dream scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. Straight to business then. I can respect that. When it comes to the dream scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. I hope so, because we're running out of options. Monto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fior. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant.
Careful! Or we'll get thrown out of the pub! We're already thrown. Really? Huh? And when did that happen?
Can't say as I remember.
Ado, welcome
Need
to
some
my
water.
establishment, I make.
Founded machine.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. Giada, what a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Ha! A novel idea, that. What I need is a stronger power source. Perhaps if you can help me find an appropriate battery of essence. I could use a large single block of Artra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
Well, let's go. That Adragon's heart isn't gonna yank itself out.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amico.
Yeah, I pretty much brought that plague girl down by myself.
Did you now?
This place could use a broom or two. Maybe a team of doctors.
The great mystery is...
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. The endangered godlike shows all the classic indicators of intelligence, but not of sentience. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal?
let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Who wouldn't? My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? No need to take offense. We merely seek to learn.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
We've heard that one before. Good thing we don't listen to criticism.
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Ah, of course. The idea is a bit high-minded. Adra acts like a pathway for souls as they rejoin the wheel.
And the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, is it not?
So, just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable Animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell. Did you
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Into exile?
Ugh, I might have
Wonder if she
dozed
needs a
off
new
there for a
research
bit.
partner.
Were any of
Or
those
maybe
words
a
the ones we
test
needed?
subject?
Both. Anything.
Yeah. Why is it somehow worse when the Revenants aren't trying to kill you?
A godlike in Emerald's Den. Well, well. I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Sorry, I've been on my own for a while, and I forget how unusual this looks. As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
We can smell it, too.
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor, but of course nothing is ever that simple. What am I supposed to do? Just let them decompose? Reanimated corpses are the future of manual labor. Cost-effective, low maintenance, and very friendly. Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that doesn't belong. Just imagine you're preparing to roast a chicken. A wet, ropey, warm chicken. If Beatrice ate something that disagreed with her, the least I can do is keep it from spreading to the rest of the flock.
Make sure you wash your hands after this.
Huh. It's like cleaning a deer carcass.
I saw you reach into Beatrice. Find anything interesting? Giada Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true Did Vidaro kick her out of town? He's a bigger fool than I thought. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Yes, quickly and mercifully if you can. Silvo is one of my revenants, my oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put a poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has gone. Thank you for understanding. You can find Silvo in the barn. He's blocked the door somehow, but the window should be open. Just be gentle with him. He's a good boy.
So, we're killing a revenant then? She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.
Here we go.
We make a good squad.
Envoy, a pleasure as always. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge, they have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. And end up like Giata? No thank you. The corpses, they need me. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giat are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
Seven in the past week. How am I supposed to live like this?
First, my wife runs off to bury this, and now this. Take your best. Nice job, everyone. No, you don't!
Come and get me. This one's mine. Who's ready for more? Here they come. Watch the left. Look to your left.
Trail goes through the ravine and into the glade. Careful where you step.
Is that all you got? You're right. Behind you! This one's mine. Get me. not looking. I can't! Back in the fight. Another win, but who's counting? Take him down. Coming from the rear. On foot. Look left.
are truly wonderful. How self-aware.
Do you ever think, what if I wasn't a ranger?
Of course. What would you do?
Ado, well known flower established technique. Maybe a cowherd.
For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giada. With any luck, I can tell you a great deal. Now that I've got a heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. It's less of a question and more of a stimulus. As long as you're honest, there's no wrong answer. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
Wheel of uneven spokes. It shatters under its own weight.
Hello? You still with me? No, we should stop. This has gone far enough. Let's go over your results. Your soul has a fascinating internal structure, perfectly balanced. An artist couldn't have made it better. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. God, my condolences. Those two are a handful, even for animancers. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. The stress of war can leave a mark on the soul, but this is different. Quite different. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giata's theory of the Dream Scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land, diverted, like the flow of a river. Purposeful, maybe, but to what end? Regardless, essence doesn't just disappear. It must be going somewhere. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giata my fondest regards.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He lost me when he started talking about souls. What did I miss?
This again. You're beginning to sound like Giata.
Have you ever stopped and listened to her? She might be onto something.
I'm sure. Or her mother and father were onto something, and look what happened to them.
I have to do something. I can't let anyone discover this.
What do you think of Giada's theory?
Well, my experiments have been a little
unpredictable. Like the essence has no sense of direction. How did you know? We should talk, but not here.
And I really loved her. Deep down.
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest. Good timing. I'm about ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? That's the fun part of metaphysics. Everything is strange, but nothing is new. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Well, that's where I need your help. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I'm sure everything's fine. It's just a spooky death basement.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
If that's where her parents died, I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an Animancer I just met. Right, feels great. Don't know what I expected, but this isn't it.
Haven from the Blight. Who grows here?
I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be plants. Gods. We can leave now, right?
Poor Giada. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giada's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? I didn't have the words. All that's really down there is an unhappy memory. One that keeps on growing. I would appreciate that very much. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar, and I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Fjord. There should be some equipment waiting for us. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fjord. No telling how long we'll be gone. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety.
Ah, finally, some time to rest my feet.
Once we're all together, we should trade ghost stories. Best way to get acquainted. In the meantime, let's be off.